Yo, what's up everybody? I'm just recording this video really quick after streaming, so if my eyes look strained and stuff, that's why I'm not actually super sad, but I would be crying tears of joy to announce the news that I announced today on Twitter, and I just want to make a quick video to talk about it to answer any questions that people have. I know that a lot of people may have noticed that when we announced our roster this year for the Jade Dragons that we didn't have a coach on it. Our coach this year will be, I said Cherry would be a part of the team, but it just basically wasn't final. For those of you who don't know, Cherry was our coach on the Dragons last year and was also a former player with three of my four teammates being Nika, Vote, and Dardas. So he was a pretty obvious fit for us as a coach, somebody I loved working with last year and we all have a ton of respect for. The issue is that Cherry is not able to travel to tournaments guaranteed, which is a requirement to be a coach this year. That was not a requirement last year. For those of you who don't know, Cherry is from Egypt, and he was studying as an engineer. I believe he completed his degree in late January of this year, but he's not entirely sure if he's going to pursue a master's degree, I believe. And essentially, if he's not in school, he's required to do mandatory military service in Egypt, which is why he stopped playing SPL in the first place. He had to go back home, he finished school, and then he had to do military service. So there's a pretty good chance, or a decent chance, that Cherry will be able to travel and come to Worlds, which he was unable to do last year, unfortunately, or, the end of Season 9 this past January. But that stuff is still in motion, so because of that, we couldn't announce Cherry as our coach officially. He's still figuring out if he will go to school. I believe he'd be looking at a couple schools in Europe to finish university and get his master's degree. So we still really wanted Cherry as our coach, but we couldn't get him officially contracted because he doesn't fit the requirement. So we wanted to get an assistant coach, and Sam Marbach, for those of you who don't know him, is a streamer. I'll go ahead and link his stream and his Twitter and stuff in the description. Definitely go give him a follow. But Sam's a super cool dude. He is a Masters/GM level ranked player. If you watch a lot of NA ranked or pro players or whatever, I'm sure you see him in streams all the time. Super funny dude, super chill dude, and he had tweeted a couple times that he was interested in coaching. And at first, I actually thought he was just trolling. I really didn't know if he was being genuine or not. But he was being serious. He wanted to explore like the competitive scene, kind of get into coaching, and just didn't really have a start. He didn't really want to play competitively because I believe the schedule and doesn't want to fully commit to that right now, I believe, because he's also streaming. I believe he also has a degree. I don't know if he's talked about that, so I'm not going to talk about all of his personal life, but I'm sure he's talked about it on stream. I just don't want to risk it. But in any case, just time balance wise for him, it's a bit of a full leap to go into like SEC or something like that, whereas SPL is a much better opportunity. So it's kind of a perfect situation for us where we really want Cherry to be a part of the team. Cherry wants to be a part of the team, but he can't fulfill all of the requirements on his own, and due to school or military or whatever, he might not be able to give 100% of his time. So together they will basically each be co-coaches, assistant coach, head coach, however you want to label it, and they will both be coaches of the team. This isn't anything special necessarily. The reason you don't see other teams with coaches is because they'd have to split the coach's salary, which is of course, something that you don't want to do if you're committing to this full time. But because both of our coaches are kind of like together, they're more than a full-time coach because we'll have plenty of scrim sessions where both of them are watching the entire time. They kind of get to divvy up their responsibilities a little bit. So the way we plan on having it work is that Cherry is essentially the full-time head coach as long as he can be there. So unless he has military service where he literally cannot be a part of scrims or whatever, which is not going to be very often throughout the year, maybe a week or two. The entire year he won't be able to be present with us in scrims. But for the most part, Cherry will still be 100% full-time head coach, and Sam will be watching scrims, kind of learning from Cherry, learning from us, learning how the league works, etc. He'll be helping Cherry kind of, walk through like what Cherry does for us, maybe checking VODs, tracking what other teams pick, recording our scrims, maybe finding clips, for example, like, during a scrim, a lot of coaches will take a clip or like a GIF of a fight, and instead of having to go back and rewatch the game and talk about it, you can just have a clip, you can discuss it in Discord, it's just super easy. So Sam will probably help Cherry with a lot of that type of stuff. And then on top of that, Sam will also be coming to our events. He'll be the person who is able to fulfill the requirement of having a coach at every event, which is super awesome because we'll have, 2 coaches that are very valuable to us. Sam, of course, like I said, is also a very good player. So he's somebody who we can play ranked with, or he can kind of keep us up to date. Sometimes you can burn out on the game. It can be hard to, scrim and play the game outside of scrims 24/7. So it'll be nice to have someone like Sam who's, playing the game and streaming on his own and is able to tell us like, hey, these players were trying that, or this is a pick that's been doing really well. Believe it or not, that stuff is still valuable. Tons of stuff come from ranked. The Hades meta last year, that came from ranked. Tons of picks come from ranked. So still very, very valuable. And then I don't want to talk too much about the contractual obligations or like the financial element of it. We had to kind of work that out with the league, like how we were structuring that to make sure that both of them can be paid for their time and to make sure that it works for the league. So basically the goal is that the coaching salary will mostly go to Cherry, I believe, but I don't know if it's 100% or not. And then Sam will also be receiving a cut of stuff. He'll be receiving a cut of like merchandise sales, all that type of stuff. So if you're a fan of Sam and you wanted to get, Sam Marbach Jade Dragons jersey, then you'll be supporting Sam directly, which is really cool. So that's kind of the general plan and the general approach. I can't talk too much to the contractual element of it because we're still or not the contractual element of it, the financial element of it, we're still like figuring that out as a team, like what exact cut people get, but that's not really public info. It doesn't really matter. But basically the point is we're super excited. Sam and Cherry together will be awesome for the team to have. We kind of just, the environment that we have already, we're super excited about because we just feel like everybody is just super chill and relaxed and enjoys being around each other. And it's nice to have somebody like Sam who's just like one of the most charismatic dudes in the community, and I think has a ton of potential as a coach as well. So it'll be really cool to see kind of where his brain is at and yeah, just like learn together and improve together. That's the whole point of a competitive team, right? So that's pretty much that. If there's any other questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to everybody. But anyways, that's why it wasn't announced on Twitter. That's why we didn't officially have a coach right at the start when the Dragons tweeted our announcement tweet, wherever this thing is, down here. They didn't actually retweet it. Okay, whatever. We'll ignore that part of it. But in any case, follow Sam. Check out his stream if you haven't already. And that is that. I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow or something like that. Whenever you see it, you'll see another video as well. You'll check that out. All right, bye.